Hey, party people. All right. Before I get started, I'm going to try to share this thing. I don't know how to do that. So I asked that someone who is on, can you share this? Share this to my page if you can. That would be marvelous. But it's 7:59. I'm going to wait until 8 p.m. for people to start tuning in. Let me try to play with this. Oh, nope, that's not it. Y'all really don't know how to work this technology. This is interesting. Yes. Happy, what's today? Monday. Happy Monday. My days are starting to just, run together. I don't know. It's a lot. Oh man. I have one person. Say hello. Everyone say hello. All right, it's 8 o'clock. It is time to start. All right, my name is Ashley of SingleWomanChronicles.com, and I am a blogger and an author and a speaker and a life coach, and I'm just me. So my goal with Single Woman Chronicles is to help singles understand that being single is a beautiful choice rather than a miserable circumstance. So yeah, I do that by just talking about different topics that you guys want to hear about. So today I am going very deep. This is actually the most vulnerable I have been on this platform, on any of my platforms, and I've been doing this since 2015. I am very nervous about this, but I know that I'm doing this to help and to free others. Now, 50% of you guys I know are probably going to be on here just to be nosy. You just want to know, okay, were you actually a sex addict? How did it happen? Whatever. That's fine. As long as you share it to other people. So share, because I want this thing to help and free others. All right, so let's get started. So when I first posted the invite or the title from Sex Addicts to Celibate, I got so many people asking me, were you really a sex addict? Shacarolyn, hi, hun. Can you do me a favor and share it to my page, my personal Ashley Guys page, please? Thank you, because I don't know how to do it. So when I first posted this thing, everyone wanted to know, are you really a sex addict? And a lot of people were skeptical about it and just shocked because they're like, oh my God, you don't seem like one. Well, one, I'm not anymore. So that's why I don't. And then two, you just never know someone's struggle. And I never understood, or I never thought that people saw me as this kind of perfect human being. I thought y'all knew I was ratchet. I'm not. I have a past, honey. I done came and been through some things. So I thought you guys knew, but I guess you didn't. But I am happy that you guys think highly of me. So appreciate it. Let's jump right in. So I always have to define things before I get into topics. So the definition of an addict, right, is to devote or surrender oneself to something habitually and obsessively, right? Right. We got it? Okay. So, I'm going to begin my journey back where it started. I'm going to, start from scratch. Start from when I was a little girl. So, I grew up single parent household, right? I don't know if the comments are on. Can you guys comment something? Can I get a whoop whoop or something? Anyway, so grew up single parent household. Last time I saw my dad, I was 4 years old. Right? Very traumatizing situation, because the last thing my dad said to me was, why did you bring her here? Basically, I didn't live. Hi. Okay, cool. So basically, I didn't live with my both parents. It was just my mom, and my dad had another family. I really don't know much about the situation. All I know is I said, Mom, take me to see my dad. And my dad came outside, and I remember being 4 years old, and I'm looking, and he's coming outside, and he's like, why did you bring her here? I told you not to bring her here. My wife is inside. This is the 4-year-old, right? So as soon as I feel that, automatically from that day on, my dad doesn't want me in my head. So like, I don't want to see him anymore. I'm 4 years old. That's a very traumatizing situation, right? Cool. All right. I'm just giving you guys the background. So fast forward to high school. Okay. So high school, I was actually the good girl in high school. I was a virgin until graduation. Like, I did everything right. I prided myself in my virginity. Like, y'all don't understand. Like, my virginity, I had that thing held tight. I'm like, nope, can't nobody get these draws. Like, no. It was even bad because it was dudes who had bets on who was going to take my virginity. Like, it was crazy. Hey, Patrice, girl. So, it was just, I was lit. Like, I was confident. I'm like, yeah, y'all don't know. Y'all don't know. Like, y'all don't know. Like, this is my virginity. Y'all ain't getting this boy, okay? So, I was just really into it. So, then I met my first, right? So, like a lot of other stories, mine happened a little quicker than most people, but my first cheated on me. That rat bastard cheated on me, and imagine how devastating that is. So you have all of these blows. We got the first blow that happened at 4 years old with my dad, and then growing up in a single mom household, my mom was very emotionally unavailable. And then you got the second blow. As soon as you give this thing that you treated like a treasure to someone else, they abuse that power and they cheat on you. So you're like, what the heck? Oh my God, I can't believe you would do this to me. So coming out the gate, this happened in the summer going into my freshman year in college at Georgia State. So he cheated on me like a month after taking my virginity. Like, do you know how devastating that is? Crazy, right? So when that happened, I didn't know what to do. I had never gone through a breakup. This was like my first love. This was my first situation because my mom was like really, really strict. So I didn't really have experience dating. So it's like, okay, what now? How do I deal with my first cheating on me? So I dealt with it by trying to go out and date other people, because that's what they say. You're supposed to, in order to get over somebody, you're supposed to get under someone new, right? Wrong. But anyway, so I remember my second time like it was yesterday. So my second time was with this guy. I had just met this dude maybe like a week ago, and then I hung out with him. And the first time we hung out, I ended up having sex with him. So this is a girl who kept her virginity up all throughout high school, and now she's having sex with a dude a week after meeting him. Like, what? How does that, whatever. But that was a interesting point, because that's when I started to devalue sex. So at that point, something that used to be extremely valuable to me, my virginity, my body, everything was extremely valuable. I devalued it in that situation because I gave myself to someone who, one, I barely knew, two, I didn't care if I saw him again, and three, I was just doing it for that temporary satisfaction. I just wanted to feel good because I knew my ex had cheated on me, and I know he wasn't thinking about me. And although I was not in communication with him, and as soon as he cheated, I cut him off, I was hurting, and I didn't know how to deal with that hurt. So that started it. This as well happened in the summer going to Georgia State. Speed up in college, right? So you in college, I don't know about y'all, but Georgia State, party school. You out here. Everybody's doing it. Everybody's having sex with everybody. Everybody's dating everybody. Everybody's busting it. Like, you out here, right? Freshman year, really wasn't doing that. Wasn't really having sex. Wasn't really doing anything, because after that first person, it's like, really doesn't mean much to me, right? But then I started to get lonely. I started to go on all these dates with different people and stuff, but it wasn't fulfilling to me. Like, I didn't drink. I didn't smoke. So I really didn't have coping mechanisms, because I was still dealing with that stuff that, like I told you before, still dealing with not being wanted by my father, still dealing with an emotionally unavailable mother, still dealing with my first who cheated on me. And this is all still fresh to me because I'm only 18 years old. So one day, I don't know, I just woke up and was like, I'm tired of this. I'm about to go live my life. YOLO, because everybody's doing it. Everybody's sleeping around. Why do I have to continue to be the good girl? I'm not her no more. I'm about to bust it. So I just started dating people. So it was weird, because when I first started dating people and having sex, it was me going back to dudes that I had dated previously when I was a virgin, right? So I'm dating these people because I'm thinking, like, the reason they probably didn't wife me back then was because I wasn't having sex with them, right? So now that I'm having sex, maybe I have a better chance of them being with me if I have sex with them. Makes absolutely no sense. I know. But again, I was 18. I didn't know no better. No one told me the game. Whatever. So I'm just doing it. So I'm out here. Cool. We busting. So I'm having sex. So my numbers start going up. But then I'm like, this isn't working. These people still don't want to be with me. Because deep down, all I really wanted was a relationship. When it came down to it, when I'm trying to heal, I got my first, who I really loved and who I really wanted to be with. He rejected me because he cheated on me, right? So I'm looking for that acceptance. But I'm using sex to get to that acceptance because for me, sex made me feel good. So I should be doing this, right? Everybody else is doing it, so I should do it. So having sex in college. But the thing about it was, I didn't talk to nobody about it. I didn't share it because I like that people thought that I was innocent, right? Because you got this girl who was a virgin throughout high school, and you only know that she's had sex with one person, her first. So I like that people thought I was innocent. So I wasn't having sex with people who anyone knew. I'm like, look, I'm having sex with dudes in College Park, Gwinnett, East Side, West Side, different hoes, area codes, because I'm not trying to do it all in one place because I still want that image, right? Like I still want people to think that I'm this good girl, right? So all of this happens, numbers are climbing, right? So when it hit me that maybe this isn't so healthy was an incident. So I meet this guy at the mall, right? He used to work in the mall. We cool, we hang out. First time hanging out, right? We end up having sex. And in the middle of sex, I literally start crying and I run out. This man thought I was nuts. I would have thought I was nuts. I'm having sex. I stop in the middle of it and I start crying and I take off running, right? Pull off. He's confused. I'm confused. I'm in the car. I'm driving down the street. I'm crying, right? Because it hits me. Ashley, what are you doing? Why do you keep doing this? Why do you keep having sex with these people who mean nothing to you? And every time you do it, you regret it. Each and every time. Why are you doing this to yourself? I know nobody knows, but you know. And every time I had sex with these people, I regretted it. Every single time. There was no meaning. It was only a temporary satisfaction. But for some reason, I couldn't stop doing it. It was times where I went into a situation like, nope, you're not going to have sex tonight. You better not have sex tonight. It's like that pump, that self-talk you give to yourself before getting out the car. You looking in the mirror like, nope, you better not have sex tonight. You better not be a slut. You better not do it. But I couldn't stop. I don't know what was wrong. I could not stop. And this is coming from somebody who I wasn't talking to nobody about it. I wasn't. I was just out here busting. So then that situation happened. I felt crazy because I done ran out this man's house and in the middle of sex. And I know he think I'm crazy and he probably think I'm a call rape, but I wasn't. I was just confused. So come back to, and I'm thinking, okay, I got it. I know how to solve the problem. Instead of having sex with multiple people, if I just get me a boyfriend and have sex with one person, then I'll be all right, right? Because he likes me, right? So if I do one dude, then I'm good. Cool. So I end up getting a dude. Meet a dude, cool guy, but he got some demons inside of him. He has some insecurity issues. I didn't know that till later on in life, down the line, but we started kicking it, right? So one day he asked me the question that I don't choose to answer. We ended up having sex maybe on our second date, maybe. It was quick. Because honestly, what was crazy is although I wanted love, my lust led. Because every time I met someone, the first thing on my mind was, how long do I need to wait to have sex with them before they think I'm a slut? Because I'm having sex, but I just don't want them to think I'm a slut. So that was always leading in my brain, like, when can I do this thing? Because I need to do this thing in order for me to feel good about me, right? Cool. Hey, Ashley girl. So, get a boyfriend, and he's cool. But then one day he asked me, how many people you slept with? So at this point, I'm 21, right? Been having sex since 18, right? I'm going to be real with y'all, right? I'm not going to tell y'all my number currently. But at that point, my number was about 18. And you talking someone who only been having sex from 18 to 21. So you do the math. Like, I was out here. And at that age, I really didn't know what to say. So I decided to tell him the truth because I'm like, well, I want to be honest. So I told him the truth. He called me all types of sluts and hoes and just Jezebels because he had only been with 4 women. So as a man, in his mind, he's supposed to be up. He's supposed to be above me. But I was in college. I'm out here busting because that's what you're supposed to do in college, right? So I got all these numbers and he only at 4. So he made me feel horrible, you guys. So let's start it over. You got being rejected at 4. You got emotionally unavailable mom. You got your first cheating on you. Now you got the boyfriend you love telling you a hoe. What do you do? What do you do? Your whole life you've been rejected. Your whole life you're looking for acceptance. Your entire life, all you wanted to do was for somebody to say, I love you, I accept you, and to stay. But each situation you've been through, everyone's rejecting you. Everyone's telling you you're not worth it. Everyone's telling you you're not good enough. You don't drink, you don't smoke, but you got sex. So guess what you do? You bust it. Because to you, sex is your remedy. Sex is how you deal with things. Even though this man called you a hoe, sex is still how you deal with things. So for you, you're trying to use sex to let him know, like, okay, how do I help him think that I'm not a slut? How do I help him think that I'm not this girl that he thinks I am? Do I pull back? But how do I pull back? Because I don't know how to do that. Because I've never experienced that before. Oh my God. Panic mode, panic mode, panic mode. So I continued to be with the guy, but I began to overexert myself to try to prove to him that I wasn't a slut by not having sex with him that much because I wanted him to think that I was this like good girl. Like, I really didn't know, but I was just going through this crisis because at that point I didn't accept myself. Especially after going through all these traumas and him telling me that I'm a slut, I'm a hoe. We ended up breaking up maybe like 3 months after that because I ended up interning at Disney in Florida and he didn't trust me. So he broke up with me, right? So I carried that baggage. So I got on like 4 bags now from all this stuff. And because he told me that I was a hoe, I carried that. I really thought I was a hoe, y'all. Like, I really felt in my soul that that's what I was. And I fought that by every dude I met, I wanted to be with him because I needed to have sex, but I needed to be with him in order not to be a hoe, if that makes sense. So I got this addiction. I don't know how to stop having sex. I can't do that. That's not an option. Like, I don't know. I don't get that because that's my coping mechanism. If I don't have that, I'm scratching at my throat because I don't know how to do it. Like, that's what I'm used to doing. So I'm going to have this sex, but I'm going to prove him wrong. Whoever I have sex with, I'm going to be with him. He going to be with me. That's going to be my dude. So how you going to call me a hoe if I'm in a relationship and I'm having sex? So that's how I led every relationship after that. Every time I met a dude, I focused on how soon we were going to get together because how soon we was going to get together judged how soon I could have sex with him, right? So I tried so hard to force relationships upon men because of all of these things. Like, all of these things. Because I'm thinking I'm a hoe. I'm thinking I haven't accepted myself. I've been rejected. So these men have to be with me. So that begins this next journey I'm in, right? So I'm 21 now. I'm graduated college. I'm out here in the world, and I'm still dating, and I'm still addicted to sex, right? So then I entered cut buddy stage, right? Because I can't add that many numbers, because if I add numbers, then I'm proving him right. I'm proving to him that I'm a hoe. So let me get a cut buddy. That's what I'll do. I'll get a cut buddy until I meet my mate. That makes sense. That made sense to me. So I got a cut buddy. Do you understand that when you begin to devalue sex so much that you don't have to feel to have it, you don't have to feel emotionally in your heart, all you got to feel is in your vagina. That devalues it so much that you can do it at the drop of a dime without consciously thinking about it. You can just have sex. You can just do it. So somebody who has asked themselves several times, why can't you stop having sex? Sex hasn't done anything for you but hurt you, diminish your value, and diminish the value of sex for you. So for you, all it is a coping mechanism. That's it. But I couldn't stop because I was an addict. Like, I was overly indulging, and I was surrendering myself to the point that I was still regretting it. So I get a cut buddy, and we having sex. There are no feelings attached. I don't know why men think that women can't detach feelings from sex. That's a lie. I've done it several times. Yeah, that's a lie. But I'm thinking like, okay, I'm good because I'm not a hoe, because that dude think I'm a hoe, so I'm going to keep proving to him that I'm not a hoe. So while I got this cut buddy, I'm still out here dating other dudes, right? Because I'm trying to get to this relationship so I can have sex and be okay, because sex is the main objective. Sex is the goal. Sex is what I came here for, okay, people? Yes, the feelings are great. I would love to like you a lot, and I need to like you a lot, because somebody who hasn't felt accepted, in order for me to have sex with you, I need to feel like you accept me, but at the same time, I need this sex to be very near in the future, okay? So, I started meeting these dudes, and as soon as I met them, automatically, I'm like, okay, so when can we be together? What's up? Like, I'm rushing head first into these relationships. I'm not thinking, I'm not worried about where they were born. I'm not worried about their family history. I'm not worried about their last names. I'm not worried about what they can really bring to the table, because in my mind, I'm just trying to get to the point where I can have sex and feel guilt-free, because this dude told me I was a hoe. So I know that if I have sex with a dude that I'm in a relationship with, then guess what? I'm not a hoe. So that's how I led into relationships. Think about this, right? How many times have you went into a relationship with a dude that you really don't know much about him at all, but you really deep down inside, you're only speeding the process up because you are tired of not having sex and you just want to speed up the process. You just trying to get to the sex. How many times has that happened to you? Like, don't all speak at once, because I got some girlfriends and I know that's what it is. So I just want to know, like, how many times has that happened to you, right? So I'm jumping, like, from situationship to situationship. So it just became a cycle. So the cycle would be like, I would meet a dude on Monday, we kicking it by Sunday, then he tell me he like me. Thank you, Ashley, for keeping it real with a G. So we kicking it by Sunday. By that next Monday, he telling me he like me. He telling me these sweet nothings in my ear. I'm not really trying to gauge the situation to see if I'm dating this representative or the true person. I'm just trying to get to the getting. So he tell me enough stuff. He finesses himself enough, into the panty drawer. So he get the panties by next Thursday. Even though deep in my mind, I'm like, I really shouldn't give him the panties because he really hasn't proven himself to get the panties. But I'm really ready to let this cut buddy go and be closer with somebody, because that cut buddy, it's making me feel like a hoe because ain't no feelings involved. But if I get with this dude who I really don't know, I've only known him for like 2 weeks, but if I bust it open for him, I know he liked me because what? He told me he liked me, so he gotta like me, right? So if I just give it to him, then that's gonna lock him down. Wrong. That cycle continued, y'all, for like 2 years straight. And y'all gotta understand, going through that thing back to back to back, and not identifying with the fact that sex is the common denominator in your failures. Sex is the reason you keep picking the wrong men. Sex is the reason you keep ending up with your heart broken and depreciating sex, the value of sex, depreciating your self-worth and depreciating your self-love. At this point, what do you even want? Like, what is it that you even need anymore? Because at this point, this thing doesn't even, the effects of the high from sex only lasted 5 minutes afterwards at that point. So why do you keep doing it? I constantly ask myself, Ashley, why do you keep doing this thing? And I didn't have an answer. I got my friends who love me, they're around me, and they're asking me, why do you keep doing this to yourself? And I'm covering it up, telling them I'm okay, but deep down inside, I'm broken. I'm empty. The real reason I keep feeling this way, the real reason I keep doing this to myself is because I'm trying to fulfill something inside of myself that I didn't even know was empty. I didn't know something was missing in me. I didn't know that the reason I was having sex was because I wanted to feel good, because back in the day, my daddy told me he didn't want me. Back in the day, my first cheated on me, so that told me he didn't want me. Back in the day, my mama, she wasn't emotionally available, so to me, that told me that she didn't want me. Then back in the day, this dude told me that I was a hoe, so a hoe to me meant that he didn't want me. So guess what I do? I go and I have sex because sex makes me feel good. And because sex made me feel good in that moment, I thought that was the answer. But it was never the answer. So, let's go to the turning point. 2014. Turning point of my entire life. Because this is when I found my calling. This is when Single Woman Chronicles was born. So, I was dating a gentleman from my past. He broke up with me. Like, it was like 3 months. But it was stupid because he begged me for a second chance, then broke up with me. Stupid. And then, fast forward, July. I'm dating another dude. Really like him. Of course I had sex with these people because I'm addicted to sex. Of course sex is involved. Then, he broke up with me too, right? So, at that point, that's when I wrote my first book, How to X Your Ex, a guide towards getting past unhealthy relationship. Here it is right here. It's available on Amazon. But I had to write this book because I needed a coping mechanism that wasn't sex. So at that point, I started understanding, like, you know, Ash, this sex thing ain't been really working for you. Maybe you should take a break. So I actually took a break. This was like one of the longest periods that I hadn't had sex, which was probably like 3 or 4 months, right? So I'm writing this book. I'm getting this blog started. I'm feeling fulfilled because finally I got my calling, right? Because for a long period of time, like, I'm a creative. And I felt empty in that portion as well because I didn't have anything to put my heart into. I didn't have anything to write about to get that creativity out. Because for me, if I don't have creativity in my life, if I'm not doing anything towards it, I feel miserable. Like, I can't do cubicle jobs because I'm such a creative. Like, I go crazy. So I got that creativity back. So for a while, I was moving and grooving on this thing, right? So I'm like, dang, I done stopped having sex for like 4 months. I can do this. Like, this is cool. Maybe I'm not, like, addicted no more. Like, I'm good, right? Right? Wrong. So around November of that year, I'm kicking it with my friends, and I'm like, y'all, I miss sex. I want to have sex. I don't know what I should do. I really don't know. Well, yes, I do. Back then, I wasn't the listener that I am today. Back then, when my friends would tell me stuff, it would go in one ear and out the other. Really wasn't paying attention to them. It was all about what I wanted to do. So I come to them, I'm like, hey, y'all. How y'all doing? Y'all want to have sex? I think I'm going to hit this dude up from back in the day that I had sex with like a while ago. See what he's doing so I can have sex. Because I think that I deserve sex, right? Right? I've done it, like, I've been free from it for like 4 months. Like, I think I should get some sex. Okay, think about this analogy, right? If a old crackhead who just been to rehab, right? He get out 4 months later. As soon as he get out, he like, I think I want some crack. Like, I think a little crack rock won't do me no. Like, if I just stick to one brand of the crack rock, then I would be all right. Right? I'll be good, right? Wrong. So that's how it was for me at that moment. Because I want sex. Like, I need that again. In my mind, I needed it. Like, I needed it because I'm grumpy. I need to let this this thing out. So my friends, they really didn't say nothing. They kind of looked at me like, I don't know, but okay, if you're going to do it. And they probably talked trash about me behind my back. I don't really know why they didn't say, bitch, why would you go back to doing something that for so many years has led you in a cycle of just detriment to self-worth, self-love, just accomplishing things like just not good for you. Why would you do this? Like, why didn't they slap me like this? I don't know, but I wasn't a good listener, so they probably did. I don't know. But I wanted to get my rocks off. So went back to this dude, and he's my cut buddy, and I'm back at it again. So he my cut buddy. Then, because see, when you having sex, you're kind of blinded by things because you're hot. Like, you have this thing. It's kind of like you're high, so you got your rose-colored glasses on. It's kind of like your inhibitions are down because you have this sex high, right? Right? So it's like I'm not dating him. We having sex. So then I end up meeting this other dude that's very evil. Ended up taking this guy to court, like really bad stuff. So I just ended up in like some really bad situations. Like, that guy happened. Ended up taking this dude to court to get money, bruh. Like, that's crazy, right? Right? Crazy. Then the next dude I ended up dating was this guy who had recently moved here, and I really liked him, but he had recently moved. He really didn't have anything going on. Like, he didn't have a car at the time. He was trying to get on his feet. He wasn't working, like all of this stuff. But my dumb behind dating him, he wasn't trying to like use me or anything. It was me volunteer to do all the stuff, because at that point I was like looking desperate. Crazy, right? Like, I'm looking like super stupid desperate because I'm dating this dude who is a cool dude, like very cool dude. And to this day, I still think he's a cool guy. But it was my doing that I ended up in that situation, because like, why would my college educated, working full-time and part-time, so at this point I'm making like $80,000 a year because I was a part-time waitress, and then I was working full-time. Why would me making this amount of money, being this established, date someone who doesn't have a car, doesn't have a degree, doesn't have a job? Like, why are you doing this? Because of sex. Duh. I'm trying to get to these rocks. Like, I'm trying to get my rocks off. Like, I'm trying to get this. So it just made no sense. It made absolutely no sense. Then the biggest turning point was in 2016 when I met my ex, right? So it's so crazy how God puts you in situations where you ask him, should I do this? And we got free will, so he'll answer your question, no. But you still can choose to go down the route you want to do. It's like the red pill or the blue pill, right? So I asked God, should I date this guy? He seemed nice. I was tired of having sex with people and not getting the results that I wanted, which was being in a relationship. And so I meet this dude, and at first he seems great. The only reason he seemed great was because he was the only guy who wanted to wife me, because in my mind, I'm thinking all these dudes are crazy, for not wanting to wife me. But really, it was because I'm leading with sex. Like, that's all in my mind I had to offer them at that point, because that's all I wanted to give. Like, I just want this sex. Like, that was what was most important to me. What was most important wasn't to have my heart protected, to understand where they were in life, to get peace and growth from this situation. I just wanted to bust it, okay? So I'm just out here having sex, which yielded horrible results, because you just don't lead with that to get in healthy relationships. You don't. So I meet this dude. He acts like he really wants to be with me. And I think, oh my God, finally, he wants to be with me. He's talking like, oh, I want to be in a relationship. Oh my God, thank you. This must be Jesus. It wasn't Jesus. I prayed about it, and God immediately said no. Like, he yelled no. He was like, no. So I'm like, I hear you, but I'm going to take that as a suggestion, because I want to be with this dude. Because, one, he want to be with me. 2, just mean that I can have sex all I want and I'm not a hoe about it. And so now, like, I'm free, right? Right? Y'all, this situation was the most toxic relationship I had ever been in my life. No, he didn't hit me. So y'all can, dismiss that. But I'm not an argumentative type of person. We literally argue every single week, okay? You know how they say, don't date people you're not equally yoked with? People take that too far, and they take it too literal because they feel like it means, like, don't date anyone who isn't the same Christianity as you. It's not just that. It's beyond that. It's about, yes, spirituality matters. Like, it's hard to date someone who's an atheist if you're a Christian. Like, I don't really know how you think that's a match made in hell. I don't really know how you think that's going to work. But what I'm saying is, do they have the same goals as you? Do they have the same focus? Do they have the same drive? Do they have the same communication skills as you? That can be negotiable, but do they have the same core values as you? Because if they don't, it's going to be a match made in hell that's going to put you through hell. And that's exactly what happened. This individual, we had like nothing in common. We were not compatible at all. Like, at all. And me, I'm honestly in this moment trying to find myself, because it's like, finally, this is my first time in a year. I'm going to just keep it real with y'all. That was my first time in a year only having sex with one person since losing my virginity. That was my first time. Like, literally my first time ever only having sex with one person. So I felt like I was doing good. I felt like, I'm straight. Like, I'm calmed down. The sex, it was up and down. It was a roller coaster. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the sex had its peaks. I was here. Like, now I'm down here because I only got, one. I'm only having sex with one person. This means this is good, right? But no, it wasn't, because although I was only having sex with one person, I was in a miserable relationship. I was miserable. Like, when I tell you I was miserable, like, I didn't have nobody to talk to because all my friends hated him. My mom didn't like him. Like, who am I going to talk to about it? God didn't like me with him. So every time I prayed, guess what God said? I told you to leave. I told you weren't supposed to be with him. You need to leave. So every time I prayed, leave. All my friends like, you need to leave. My conscience telling me to leave. So it just ended up, sex led me into this very horrible situation, right? Halfway through the relationship, I had a very close friend who told me that she was about to be celibate, right? It was, when she told me, I'm like, girl, you crazy. Celibate? Sex is good. Like, why would you be celibate? Why would you give that up? That's crazy. Like, why you want to do that? And I responded that way because deep down inside, I knew that's what I should have been doing, right? I knew I should have been celibate, but deep down inside, I didn't think I could do it. I didn't think I had the ability to abstain, because for so long before, I kept asking myself, why do you keep doing this? And I couldn't stop. So in my mind, I can't be celibate. So let me insult her for being celibate. Like, let me do it. And when she told me a week later, God dropped it in my spirit and was like, yep, that's you. You're going to be next. And she would actually tell me, you're going to be next. And I would look at her like she was crazy, because she knew my past. Like, she was one of the few people who knew that I was out here busting it. You know what I mean? So I'm like, you telling me to be celibate? You know what I used to do. Like, how you going to tell me that? Like, I don't really understand how you say, like, I don't get it. So get to the end of this relationship. I finally leave January of 2017, last year. Soon as I'm out the gate, God like, you need to be celibate. I'm not playing with you. Okay. All right. I can do it. I can do it, right? I can do it. God told me to do it. I'm going to be obedient, because the last time I was disobedient, I ended up with this person who put me through pure hell. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this because it needs to be done, right? You already know when you agree to do something with God, the devil come and he throw a little monkey wrench in your plan. So January, I decided to be celibate. Then he sent this dude who I was really into, really liked him. Cool dude, great guy. Still in contact with this person. And we were vibing, ended up having sex, you know. Felt horrible, cried about it. Then I had a choice to make. Are you going to recommit to God, or are you going to keep going down the same path that has left you so empty? You still empty. You haven't built your self-worth from that last relationship. You haven't built your self-love. You haven't really analyzed this situation to understand what you really need. You haven't filled that void that you've been trying to fill since you was a 4-year-old girl. So why you keep having sex? Why you keep doing this? And this is me yelling at myself internally. So I decided to recommit myself to God, because that was who was going to fulfill me. That was the only person, the only thing, the only entity that could fulfill me in that moment. Because for so long, I wasn't fulfilled. For so long, I was looking for it in the wrong places. I was looking for this thing in sex, because sex was my drug. Sex was what I was addicted to. Sex was what I surrendered myself to, because it felt good in the moment, and nothing could make me feel as high as sex could. So I needed it. That's what I told myself. But finally, 2017, April 23rd, I walked away from that thing that I thought I could never walk away from, only by the grace of God. And when I tell y'all right now, I've never felt more fulfilled in my entire life, like ever. And I'm not just saying that, just on different levels. Like, y'all don't understand. People think that when you're celibate, you are like this prude person, you're not happy, you're grumpy all the time. That is so not true. When I tell you that the fact that I found growth and meaning and acceptance in myself and who I am as Ashley, aside from the physical of what I have to offer, what's in my panty drawers, like, I found that glory, I found that peace, I found it all in God, and I found it in not doing what my flesh told me I was supposed to be doing. I found it that when I pulled back and when I fought those temptations and when I fought those urges, because they came. Don't think I haven't been tempted. Though that's a story for another day, because right now I'm a year and some months in. But listen, it's a tough battle, but it's worth it. It's worth it. We can all do it. You talking about someone who could not. I continue to ask myself, why can't you stop having sex? Why do you keep allowing sex to hurt you? Because at that point, sex hadn't done nothing but hurt me. All these dudes, all they wanted was sex from me. Because guess what I did? I oozed with sex. I led with it. So how can somebody take me seriously? Is the first thing on my mind when I meet this person is, I want to have sex. That's what's on my mind. That's in the back of my head. I'm not telling them that in their face, but men can smell that on you. You think they can't smell that on you? You are crazy. You crazy if you think. Why? For example, you keep getting tried. I don't know who I'm talking to right now, but every time you meet a dude, you keep asking yourself, why he keep trying me on the first date? Or why these dudes keep coming at me like this? Because you got that sex. All up on you. All up on you. I'm telling you. All up on you. But for me, because I'm celibate, I don't even have to say it to nobody. People don't even approach me the same, because I'm not leading with that. That's not in my pores. It's not on me. That spirit not on me no more. People don't approach me the same. Even dudes who know I'm celibate, they come at me like, you think, oh, I'm not going to find no dude, because a girl commented that was like, oh, it's not a lot of dudes who celibate. You'll be surprised. It's a lot of dudes out here who are celibate. And it's a lot of dudes out here who looking for a woman who is celibate to motivate him to be, because he's just as tired of sex as I was. He's just as tired. Trust me, it's some men out here and they look good. They look real good. And guess what? They got jobs. They focus, because ain't no discipline like discipline you get when you become celibate. That level of discipline, listen, it's going to take you places. It's going to make you accomplish goals you ain't never accomplished before. It's going to make you see stuff that you ain't never seen before. It's crazy, because when you get your lens in like this, you can see so much better. See, when you got it all right here, because you're answering to all those fleshly calls, and you going after the dudes, and you going after the females, because that's what you think you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be giving it to your flesh, right? You're supposed to be celebrating, right? Wrong. What you celebrating for? You ain't done nothing. You ain't accomplished nothing. You haven't. What you got to celebrate? Like, what you doing? Do something with your life. Be focused. Cut out everything that make you feel like, if you've ever regretted having sex with somebody, cut it off. If you've ever regret dating somebody because they were a fool and they tried you, cut him off. Cut it off. What? Cut it off. Like, what is keeping you from reaching those goals? Because a lot of the times we hide behind these excuses that we can't do it, and it's really fear. And a lot of the times we cope with fear by becoming addicted to things. Your thing may not be sex. Your thing could be drugs. Your things could be drinking. Your thing could be going out. Your thing could be going to the gym. You know you can be addicted to the gym? Yes, you can. If every time you want to do that thing you've been putting off, you really want to focus on that thing that you want to do, you do something else, whatever that something else is, you're addicted to it. You ain't accomplishing nothing because you're addicted to that thing. I don't know what your thing is. My thing was sex. And I had to become celibate to exit out because I had to do a cold turkey. I couldn't keep going back and forth with myself because, like I said, again, that crack addict example, I couldn't say, I just want to look crack today and think I'm going to be cured. I wasn't. I had to do a cold turkey. And when I tell y'all right now, I don't even have to masturbate. Because honestly, masturbation just makes you want it more. Just like a crackhead, you think he get a little crack, he just going to stop? Leave it alone, that's going to last for a year. Now I'll get a little crack today. No, he going to keep going back to it. It's going to make you want it more. I don't even masturbate. I don't even think about it like that. When a thought comes in my mind, it goes away because I'm focused. I got too many great things to focus on. And I'm not saying sex is bad. No, I still have a high sex drive. When my husband get here, trust me, we're going to be busting it. But for right now, the focus, even when I get there, it's going to be spirit-led. It's going to be a bigger foundation. It's going to be led by God because he never said the sex was bad. It's just the way we're out here using it that makes it crazy. But again, this is my story. So somebody asked, are we going to be doing this every week? So I have started a group, you guys. If you look in the link, I have a group. It's called BAV. BAV stands for Born Again Virgin. The reason I came up with this was because I went out with my homegirl one day. I walked in the room and she looked at me. She was like, girl, you glowing. And I'm like, I am. She said, I know what it is. It's that BAV glow. And I'm like, dang, I like that BAV glow. Like, get your BAV glow on. This thing is a struggle. Like, sometimes, especially before you hit that year, y'all, like when I tell you everything came against me trying to get to a year, I'm telling you, we need this community. We need this. Click on this link below. It's called BAV, Born Again Virgins. This is a rallying call. I'm calling y'all people who thinking about being celibate, who are already celibate, who got friends who need to be celibate, who have connected with some of the stuff that I've said, and you curious about how can I do this? Is this for me? Because it ain't for everybody's. Like, everybody don't connect how I connected to it. Like, everybody didn't use sex as their thing. Everybody didn't use their addiction wasn't sex. It could be something else, but I still feel like this group can help you because it can help you to have a community of people who are supporting you, who are, giving you that push that you need to get out of whatever you're dealing with. So please click the link, join the group. Like, let's go, let's do this. I want this to be a movement. I'm really trying to get it. And of course, follow my blog, singlewomanchronicles.com. If you don't know, I'm an author. I have 2 books. We got How to X Your Ex. Then we got Single Woman Chronicles, both available on Amazon. And I got my shirts coming out. Right now I'm wearing my shirt because, like, I'm a mythical creature. You see, all that pain and all of that hurt, I took it and I flipped it. And once I finally found that fulfillment inside of me, that thing that I was searching for using sex, I realized that this whole time, a lot of the people didn't accept me because I was always different. And I was always a unicorn. And so I'm a mythical creature. So definitely go to my website, order some of the books and the shirts and whatever you need. But yes, share this video, please. I feel like people need to understand what this is. Like, put a name to what you're doing. Yes, I have an audiobook coming out in September. Yes, honey. I'm working on the Single Woman Chronicles one, my first fiction novel. It is funny. I'm not just saying that because I wrote it. I really be reading this junk laughing like, I wrote that? Girl, you funny. So, like, yes. So, I have an audiobook coming out in September. So, be on the lookout for that. I've got a lot of good things coming. Y'all probably going to start seeing my face a whole lot. So, just be prepared for it. Again, join the group, BAV. I got the link in the video description. Follow the blog, subscribe, share this video, please. People need to hear this stuff. Especially if it helped you and it hit something inside of you. Share, please share. So, that's all I got. I'm going to go through, answer some of y'all comments. Y'all got any questions for me, hit me up. I'm an open book. Just let me know. And I love everybody who pushed me to do this because I was so nervous. Because I'm like, man, I'm about to get real. I've never been this vulnerable before. People are going to identify with me and think, like, oh my gosh, she was a sex addict. People are going to judge me. But who cares? Like, who cares? Like, I'm not her no more. So you can't come at me with my past. Like, I am not that person. So please miss me with the BS. Like, no. So, again, I love y'all. And y'all have a good night. Share. Love y'all.